Ready to continue our next chapter, the Big Thunder. Ta-ta-ta-tum. Day by day, as the baby grew stronger, Big Mo looked at her with wonder. Dookie, he said, you're growing. Someday you will be a big girl and run about on those two brown feet. Someday you will talk to me in real words. You will grow up and be a woman, and then you will leave me. Sometimes I almost wish you would stay little like this, but I will always love you, my treasured gift from the spirits. One hot, sultry day, when the ground was dry and hard around the thirsty rice plants, and even the weeds seemed to wither in the hot sun, Big Mo walked from one end of the field to the other. We will go home early today, little Dookie, he said to the baby. First, we will go to the pond where the water is cool. There we will see the water buffaloes with their long sweeping horns. They are fierce-looking animals, but they will not hurt you. Even the small boys scrub the animals' backs with coconut fibers while they lie in the water to keep cool. Mothers may be washing their clothes, but we will not disturb them. We will lie in the cool sand in the shade of the palm trees. They splashed in the water at the edge of the pond, took a cool drink from the spring, and then went up the path to the mud hut with the thatched roof. Mo noticed that the dark clouds were coming up in the western sky. I know this is not the rainy season, little Dookie, but I hope it rains. The ground is dry and hard. He placed the baby on the mat, and she smiled up at him, waving her small brown hands as if she knew what he was talking about. Yes, the rice and bean crops could stand a good rain, he said, as he began preparing rice for his supper. Suddenly the wind began to blow. Twigs and leaves whirled around the house and came in at the open door. When the bamboo gate fell down with a thud, little Dookie was frightened. She threw up her little hands and cried. Big Mo picked her up and spoke words of comfort in her tiny brown ears. From somewhere in the distance came the threatening roll of thunder. Soon big drops of rain fell on the dusty ground. There we go. Get the right page. See, said Mo, holding Dookie so she could watch the rain. Look at the rain. Nice rain. Good rain. The child had not seen rain before, and her eyes grew wide with fear and uncertainty. When she clutched at Mo's arm and trembled, he held her close and took her away from the doorway. It is only the thunder spirits, little one, he said. They send the big thunder that comes with the rain. Do not be afraid. But even as he tried to comfort her, his own heart was filled with fear. The lightning flashed vividly. The thunder crashed and rumbled loudly, and the wind seemed to vent its fury on the mud hut. The edges of the thatch on the roof flapped back and forth, and rain blew in through the open door. Mo took the sleeping mat from the floor and put it on a shelf near the roof. He knew that the foundation of his house was firm, for he had built it with his own strong hands. He had used large rocks firmly embedded in the ground. The thatch had been securely fastened with strong fiber cords. He believed that the roof would not blow away. Yet he was not too sure. Big Mo had been in storms before, but somehow this one was different. This time he was really frightened, though he could not say why. Could it be that the thunder spirits were angry with him? For what reason? He could think of none. He had given a generous gift of money to the charm doctor for spindly legs and little Dookie. Many times he had placed flowers on the shrine. Where had he failed? Tiny brown hands clutched his arm more and more tightly each time the thunder crashed. Mo rocked the little girl gently in his arms as he walked around the room, trying to calm her fears and also his own. There's a picture of Big Mo and Dookie Mo and some gourds hanging from the rafters. Dookie cried out in fear at each loud clap of thunder. His own fears subsided somewhat as he thought of the utter helplessness of the little one in his arms. The spirits could not be angry with her. She had never done anything wrong. It was not her fault that she was a girl. "Do not cry, my precious one," said Mo. "This is only a bad storm. Whoever makes the rain must be a powerful god. I wish I knew who makes the rain." He said more to himself than to Dookie. "Perhaps I will know someday." At last the rain stopped and the storm passed. Mo gave little Dookie her supper, adding some rice water to the milk and honey. The baby was growing and she needed more food. When the chores were all done and it was time to go to bed, Mo found a dry spot on the floor where he had laid the sleeping mat and stretched out beside sleeping Dookie. "Someday I will know," said Mo again, as he listened to the night sounds. He saw big clouds sailing across the sky, hiding the stars and moon, and as he watched them, he whispered softly, "Someday I'll know who makes the rain." That's the end of the chapter. The next chapter, Flowers for the Spirits.